Do you need a life audit? Hello lovely friends, thank you so much for joining me. If we haven't met before, my name's Michelle. I normally post videos about my creative processes as well as creative motivation, but today's video is a little bit different. So it's been a year and it's been the same all over the world. It's been totally weird, but there are silver linings, and my silver lining this year is that I decided to do what I'm calling a life audit. Now, lots of people do New Year's resolutions around this time of year for the coming year, but I'm not really into resolutions. I find them a little bit judgy, just personally, and usually they just last for the first month of the year and then we forget all about them. So what I've preferred to do is a life audit where you can be really objective about what you want to get out of the next year and if there's anything that you want to change in your life or work towards. So I'm going to give, I don't know if you can hear that, but those birds out there are really loud. Shh. So I know everyone is different, but these are the steps that I took to do my life audit, and I've been doing it since about March this year when we all went into lockdown and I started working from home more, and it's really helped me out, and I'm going to continue this process next year as well. So this is how I did it. Number one is to write down between 1 and 3 things that you really want to change in your life. Now, if you've only got 1 thing, fantastic. If you've got more than 3 things, then try to keep it to 3 because otherwise it'll just get totally overwhelming. So I'll give you my examples because it's only fair, I'm going to share. So my examples were, the first one, my mindset, and I had already been working on that a little bit with going to a hypnotherapist just to deal with confidence issues and imposter syndrome. And hey, that's the reason I started this YouTube channel, was to increase my confidence and not judge myself so much. And believe me, it works. If you've got issues, start a YouTube channel. And my second one was work on my business, so take my business more seriously. I think I was just playing around, having fun, but not really thinking too much in the long term of how I can make this part of my career. So that was number 2, my business. And number 3 was my health, because I'd always had issues with my weight and food and stuff like that. I know lots of people have, but that is something I've always struggled with. So they were my 3 things. So write down your 1 to 3 things and maybe put them in separate columns on a page to make it easier. Number 2, list some just quick and dirty ideas under each heading as to how you could possibly make those changes. Don't think too much about it. This is just kind of a brain dump. So I'll give you my examples. So with mindset, I could do things like meditation, affirmations. For my business, I could join a business group or I could get some training of some description. And for my health, I could do a weight loss group or I could just do more exercise. So in my brain dump, I just listed kind of airy-fairy things that I could do. Number 3, this is when you narrow things down. So do some research. See if there's 1 or 2 simple things that you could incorporate into your everyday routine that aren't too difficult, because I think sometimes New Year's resolutions get really lofty. I will meditate for an hour a day. I mean, you're never going to do that. Well, extraordinary people might, but I wouldn't. So try and be really clear and do things that are quite simple that you can incorporate into your everyday routine. So again, I'll give you my examples. For my mindset, I did add meditation, but only between 5 and 10 minutes because I figured I could do that in my day really easily. So on the days that I'm working from home, I do a meditation and then I write out some affirmations before I start work. On the days that I'm going into the office, I'll do that when I get home from work. So be quite clear of when you're going to do these things so that you can fit them into your daily routine. For The number 2 for the business, I did actually decide to join a business group, the Art Business Academy. I'll actually put the details down below because I think they've closed off for the year, but they probably will be opening up again in the new year, I assume. But that has really given me some encouragement. I've been sort of encouraged to write a business plan. I've never done that before, so that's a different story. But it's basically just leveling up and actually taking my business more seriously. And for number 3, for my health goals, I actually did join a weight loss program just online that holds me accountable. And I have also included things like going for a daily walk in my routine. So before the whole meditation and affirmations, I go for a walk. And when I'm working in the office, I incorporate walking before work and after work on my way back from the train station. So these are things that are easily incorporated into my everyday life. They don't take up too much of my time. I've made sure that they don't really, encroach too much on my daily life. So therefore they're easy to keep at. I think if you make things too complicated, then it's pretty easy just to say, well, I can't be bothered doing an hour of meditation today. It's just too hard. Whereas if you make things easy, then you're more likely to carry it on throughout the year rather than just finishing it off in January, for example. And then the final thing that I've just been doing fairly recently is when you're comfortable with your routine, that's when you can add supplementary items to that list. So as an example, recently for the business part of my list, I added in a social media strategy. So I actually hired someone to do my social media strategy for me and to help me with doing that. And then after that, I did a bit more training as well to do with marketing. So with things like that, you can just do small add-ons that don't really, again, they don't encroach too much on your time, but they do make a difference, and they're enhanced by the other steps that you did previously. And also I'm going to be adding more yoga into my healthcare routine. So again, that's something else that I've just added on. So you're not doing everything all at once. Like, I feel like New Year's resolutions are just very overwhelming because you're telling yourself, I'm going to do that, and that, without really thinking too much about how you're going to fit all this into your life naturally. And when you fit things into your life naturally and get used to routines, that's when these differences that you make become long lasting. That's when they become more of a lifestyle rather than just a resolution or a goal. It's much more long lasting and you'll reap the benefits for years to come. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit different from what I normally post, and please, if you're brave, leave a comment down below with what you want to change in the coming 12 months. Please share that with me, or if you'd like me to elaborate on any of the topics that I've spoken on, please let me know. But of course, I would love you to subscribe to my channel as well. My channel is slowly growing. At the time of filming this, it's about 450 odd subscribers, which isn't very many, but it's grown considerably just in the last 3 or 4 months. So that's really exciting. So I'm loving having this little community here, and I'd love for you all to chat in the comments down below as well. And so until the next video, bye.